the end of June, a time on the Columbia River when you might hook up with the last of the spring run Chinook or possibly a summer run fish. We're just upstream from Portland, Oregon at the mouth of the Sandy River, a well-known area to hold fish and a great place to fish spinners behind a 360 flasher, either tipped with coon shrimp or fish naked with scent. With any luck, we'll hook up with some high-quality Columbia River salmon. We launched near first light with Jason Hambley.
So we're out here on the Columbia River this morning. We're putting in here at the Chinook Landing boat ramp. It's the last day of the season, so there's quite a few people here. Go out and try to catch some of these summer Chinook that are heading upriver. Well, so I don't know whether they base it off of the run forecast and it's kind of falling a little short of that, or if it's they're giving the commercial guys a little bit of a season. I'm not sure what their rationale is, but I know they shut it down a little bit early for us this year. And it's kind of been, they've kind of had this whole season butchered up a little bit, but I guess we got to take it when we can get it and hope for the best. So we're taking off out of Chinook Landing and we're going to head upriver and we're going to fish a kind of a little soft inside area here up just below the mouth of the Sandy River on the Oregon side. There's some guys out here anchored up in different various spots, but that area up there seems to be productive this time of year. They're kind of holding up there. I don't know whether it's the cold water from the Sandy dumping out or if it's just the Sandy's getting lower and some spring Chinook are held up in there as well as some summer Chinook. So whatever the case, there's some fish there and we're going to go try to catch one.
Well, we're here today to try to intercept summer Chinook salmon and springers that are held up on their way to the Sandy River. This is an inside bend. You can see there's heavy current out here in the channel here, but where we're going to be fishing, it's softer and we've got the cold water inflow from the Sandy. So hopefully there'll be some fish piled up in here that we can stick and put in the box.
This time of year, the water temperature is warming up a little. It's running about 65 degrees. And so we're running a lot of spinners, some super baits, but more spinners than anything. And with that, it's a good idea too to load it up with like the salmon slammer gel or the garlic bait sauce. Anything with that garlic potent smell helps a lot. And I try not to gunk up the blade a bunch. What I'll do is I'll usually just put it on and just go on the tubing. A little bit goes a long way. This blade's just a gold Simon. It's a 3.5 spinner. It's the Mexican hat color, which is usually a pretty productive one. And we got, on the rods here, we got several different ones made up that are, we got a couple with prawn spinners and a couple other colors too. We'll mix it up and then see which one's kind of producing and go with that one.
This one we're running a coon shrimp behind a spinner, and instead of using treble hook, we're using 2 single hooks. Copper Mexican hat sort of color. It's always a good choice.
We're gonna go, Nick, go 25 on the bow rods. We're gonna go 25 up in the bow and then 30 feet off the back.
We got a jack or something on the side. Well, 30 seconds in the water and I got the first fish. What a whopper. Smolt just ate my coon shrimp, so I'm gonna rig up this with the coon shrimp. And there's lots of ways to hook these things on. I like the little ones for trolling with spinners myself, and these are nice and little. You can hook them vertically like this, or you can hook them horizontally like this. And I usually do horizontal. And when I do it, I'm careful to not push on the head because I don't want to rip that carapace off or loosen it. And that's basically it. That'll just fish along behind the spinner and it works good.
We're marking a few fish in here this morning. Hopefully they get to snapping. On the rod holders, it's a nice thing to keep all your rods uniform distance over the water so your tips aren't buried in the water, and also gets them up at waist level. I'm using these 8-inch fishing rod holder extensions, and in the front I have the curved ones, which kind of sets your rod out a little further, gets you some separation. Makes it nice when you're taking the rod out of the rod holder. It gets it right up at waist level. Everything's just easier to get to, and it's quicker release with the full B rod holders. And it's just a nice setup on the boat. It makes it a lot easier to manipulate everything. And then in the back I have the 18-inch that extends out a little bit, and that gets the rod out away from the deck and keeps your tip out where you need it. It's good. It's a great setup. It's really works well. we saw a fish on the fish finder come up and dart up and then went back down. And we were watching it for a minute, and then all of a sudden Nick's rod buried.
Welcome back to the Columbia River. I'm Justin Wolf. We're salmon fishing with Jason Hambley, George Crum, Nick Borer, and Ron Hawes. And so far, Nick has the first fish in the boat, but it's not going home with him.
It's a big fish. Unfortunately, it's got a fin, so we got to turn it loose, but still fun to pull on.
Came on a 3.5 spinner with no shrimp on it.
Most of the fish we've been marking on the screen, as you can see there, have been around the 20 to 25 foot range. We're in 40 feet of water, so Nick's rod was the one that just got bit, and he's at 25 feet, so the fish are a little suspended. I don't know whether it's a water temperature thing or what, but that's where they're at. So if that's where they're at, that's where we're going to put our gear.
Fish are hooking or suspended, and we're kind of curious about what the temperature is doing. It's 65 degrees or so at the surface.
There we go.
Oh, we got a fish.
Well, this one, I'm running a little lighter lead on it, and I put this one out about 40 feet. So this one was a little deeper, but that's, my guess is it was probably fishing around 30 feet. Oh, it just came off. It was right there. Darn it. That was probably a clip fish too.
Okay, so what would I call
That one there came on the plain spinner as well. A 3.5 Mexican hat. That's 2 on that this morning. Definitely seems to be working.
Okay, so we just lost that fish. So it's 2 bites we've had the past 15 minutes or so, and we're a little curious about what the temperature is doing. It's 65 degrees at the surface. So we're gonna use this Fishhawk TD and send it down to the bottom. We'll bring it up, and then we'll be able to scroll through in 5 foot increments to see what the temperature is at depth. And there may be a reason that those fish are hanging out down there at about 25 feet. We'll find out. There she goes. We just wind it back up. Yeah, let's see what we got. So now we're just gonna hit view. That's a surface temperature, 66 degrees, down 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet. Still pretty warm down there. 20 feet, 25 feet. Pretty consistent temperature all the way down, so it's probably not a temperature thing. So it's actually a little warmer down at depth than it is right at the surface. Interesting.
Well, I don't know how to explain it. For some reason they like that depth. Must be something to do with currents, because it ain't water temperature.
I'm not sure what to say about that. I'm a little confused, to be frank. It's unusual that it's a little warmer down deeper than it is at the surface, but right at this spot, with the current that we have, it's almost the same down at the bottom as it is at the surface.
I would have thought it would have been a little colder just because we got the mouth of the Sandy River dumping in right here. Well, there's 2 channels. There's an upper channel and then a lower channel, and this is the main channel here, and that's where it's coming out. So you'd think there'd be a little more thermals in there, but apparently not.
No, it's got a fin.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Oh. Looks like the seal got a hold of that one. It's got a little mark on its back. I thought it was clipped at first, and after further examination, it is not.
the black
That
one?
bow rod just got whacked.
This one did?
Yeah,
Mine?
yeah.
I didn't see it.
Thank God they shut that down.
There we go. There we go.
Still there?
It's gone. I think it's gone.
Nope. He's there.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't feel very big. Really got it. Nice, Nick.
Another wild.
No kidding.
Yeah.
The last two fish we've gotten, it's actually the last one and then the one before that, we saw on the fish finder a dart going across the fish finder, and looked like the Chinook must have seen it from a distance and just burned off after the gear. That's always kind of cool to see.
Despite the incredibly annoying noise from the close-by gravel elevator, the salmon have been biting our 360 spinners well. In summer, conventional wisdom says that the fish hold at the mouth of the Sandy because of the cooler water. But the Fishhawk TD says the water temperature is actually a little warmer at the depth the fish are holding than at the surface, which has everyone a little bit baffled. But regardless of temperatures, the fish are still liking our spinners fished naked, but with a thin coat of ProCure Salmon Slammer, which is a combination of fish oils and garlic, which seems to be key. And when the fish want garlic, experienced fishermen know they better have some garlic on board.
I'm gonna help him out. Every fish we've had's been on garlic, and Jack's got anise in his boat, so we're gonna throw it over there real quick.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I took a full 4 minutes this time.
Yeah, pretty good bite going on this morning. Hopefully it continues.
Maybe this one's gonna clip. I hope. I'd say the odds are getting in our favor. Come on, little fishy. What do we got this time? Can't see it.
Looks like it's a keeper.
Keeper!
Holy cow.
Nice.
Let me get some slack here.
Nice. Finally. We were due odds-wise. We couldn't keep catching all wild ones forever.
Another one on the Mexican hat. Every single fish we've had has been on those, so we've just been slowly putting all of them out as that color. So that's what they want today. That's what we're going to give them.
Wild.
Oh, dang it. One too many fins, so back he goes. Today we're getting all the fish a bit on Mexican hat type patterns, either with a copper base or a gold base. This one happens to be copper. Maybe the overcast, we got a marine layer here that might be helping us out a little bit, but for whatever reason they're biting the crap out of these things.
Well, that was the last one to not get bit, and now every single rod on the boat's been bit. So I guess that's a good sign we're fishing in the right area. I'm not sure what the tide's doing, but it's when we got here, we were trolling uphill about 1.10 to 1.14 miles an hour, and now we're going uphill about 0.78 to 0.83. So I think the tide's pushing a little more. It could be affecting the bite, but we'll see here shortly. Basically, you look more at what your gear's doing rather than what the speed of your fish finder's doing, because like I said, currents do change, and you just want that ideal thump with your lures. So more than anything, we're just kind of adjusting with the tide here. So this morning, that actually was only the second fish we've seen caught other than in our boat. And Owen Hayes there from Outdoor GPS just got it. It looked like a decent one. He hasn't landed it yet, but he's still yarding on it.
Plain copper, baby. I just switched spinners from a painted to a plain copper because it got sunny out. Sometimes that's a good call. Trolled about a minute and got one. You ready, Nick? Feels like a good one.
Oh, it came off?
Still did. Hate it when that happens. Bummer. Win a few, lose a few. The clouds went away and it got sunny, so I decided to change my presentation a little bit, and I put on a plain hammered copper blade and trolled for about a minute and got bit. Sometimes when it's clear and bright and sunny, the fish seem to prefer a non-painted blade, just a metallic blade.
Seems like a lot of times when you're using Pro Troll flashers and you hook fish, especially with barbless hooks, the flashers will have a lot of drag in the water, and what happens is they just get slacked up and those hooks come out pretty easy. So your hook to land ratio can suffer a little bit using them.
Welcome back to the Columbia River. I'm Justin Wolf. We're putting together a fantastic day of salmon fishing with Jason Hambley with just a basic 360 spinner setup with Salmon Slammer Super Gel, which the fish really seem to be keying in on today.
Now we're working on 6 for 8. Hopefully we land it. That's
Nice
a whopper.
fish.
Oh,
It's
nice
bleeding
fish.
like crazy too.
What a chromie fish.
I hope that's a happy fish.
That's a nice chromie. Oh, that's cold.
Good to eat. Come on, man. Hatchery!
Oh my God, that's a nice fish. I'm glad
He's bleeding like a pig too. Nice, Jay. Good thing that's a hatchery fish.
yeah,
'cause that's a dead one.
A blood bath.
Nice, Jay. Look at that. That's a good one.
Garlic. Garlic. It's off. It's off. Just came off.
6 for 10 now. Now we're getting back on regular Pro Troll averages. Starting to lose them. Oh well.
Okay, we've got an outgoing tide right now, and I think it's sucking water out of the sandy. We seem to have a little more color in the water, and I think it might be changing the temperature. So we sent the fish hawk down to take a look, and it's 69.9 at the surface now. 67.8 just 5 feet down. 67.4 at 10 feet. Same at 15. 66.6 at 20. And then it gets warmer again. 67.4 at 25. Same at 30 and 35. So the sweet spot seems to be at about 20 feet. Let's check that again. 20 feet is the coldest water at 66.6 degrees.
So right now that the tide's pushing a little more, the water has cooled down. It's about at 20 feet, it's a few degrees cooler. So that's probably why the fish are traveling in that lane.
That's a nice one.
Get out of the way here.
That's a salmon fish.
I don't know. Well, hold still.
Keeper, yep.
Woo, keeper.
Keep on.
You can tell by the coloring and the spotting, that's a Sandy River Hatchery Spring Chinook. There's still a few of those kegged around in here and waiting for some water to head upriver. So, we'll take it.
Yeah, you can just tell by that coloring pattern in there. It's the Sandy River Springers just have a unique color pattern to them. I mean, not 100%, but more likely than not, it's going in that river.